Oh, I know exactly what this is.
Hey! 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 Hey!
Yeah. I think it might be a lot bigger unless it's a baby Bigfoot.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
From abandoned resorts to haunted forests, stepping into the unknown can instantly become a fight for survival. Whether it's an explorer ducking a swinging machete in the dark, or a solo camper hearing his name whispered from the shadows, the danger is real. If you were in their shoes, would you stay or run? Mount Fuji is one of Japan's most famous landmarks. At its base sits Aokigahara, a dense forest with a long and troubled history connected to suicide. Discovering human remains there is not unusual for those who travel its trails. In July 2017, a YouTuber who ran the channel Burbex entered the forest alone and encountered something deeply disturbing.
This is just the beginning of the forest. Let's keep moving, see if we can get a bit deeper. I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? There's a packet for a knife. Maybe somebody's going out into the woods to slash their wrists. See, there's lots of little caves under the forest floor. And a saucepan. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I think this is somebody's name just here. I'm not sure what this means. Maybe I should take that to the forester station later.
After leaving the forest, Burbex contacted the authorities and reported what had been discovered. Investigators later confirmed that the belongings were linked to a person who had taken their own life there. Aokigahara has experienced these kinds of discoveries before, and local officials have implemented measures in an effort to reduce them, but incidents still continue to happen. If you or someone you know is struggling, reaching out to someone can make a real difference. What do you think should be done to help prevent tragedies like this one? In July 2022, urban explorer Mo Sargi was visiting the Dominican Republic when he decided to record himself walking through the abandoned Sandcastle Resort, a place known for dangerous squatters and criminal activity. Mo was entirely alone, carrying nothing but a camera and a flashlight.
I don't know what to expect. I had some weird things happen here the last time, and to be honest, I'm feeling kind of scared.
As he moved farther into the building, the atmosphere quickly began to change.
I hear a cat meowing. There's bats everywhere. Hello? I'm hearing some weird cat noises up in this place. I feel like I'm being followed.
Strange noises started echoing through the empty hallways around him. He began hearing unusual, erratic sounds that didn't seem to come from any normal animal. Curious, he moved closer to investigate, unaware that someone hidden in the darkness was already watching him.
Kinda gotta be careful here, because there are... What the fuck is that? Oh, what is that? Hello? Oh, what the f... I don't mean any trouble, bro. He's got a machete. Hey, I don't mean any trouble, man.
Then, from outside the building, a man shouted something in a language Mo couldn't understand. Mo assumed it was a homeless person and continued forward, remaining cautious. But the man didn't remain outside.
Okay, oh, he's coming. Yo, man, I don't mean you any harm, bro. Oh, no. Please, yo, dude, why do you... Yo, dude, chill. Dude, chill. Oh, you got the machete. You're the one that's going to jail. Dude, this guy's on crack.
The man entered the building. He appeared to be holding a machete. Mo instantly realized how serious the situation had become. The resort's narrow corridors and abandoned rooms provided endless places to hide for both of them. His only exit was the stairwell, and that was exactly where the threat could be coming from.
He's looking for me. Bro, I don't mean any. Yo, dude, chill. Dude, chill. Okay, I'm keeping my lights off.
Mo switched off his flashlight and stayed completely silent, hoping to lose the man in the darkness. It failed. Within moments, he was spotted again. What followed was a chase through the building's sharp corners, dead ends, and at least one close swing of the machete.
Yo! No, chill, bro! Chill! Oh, he's not cracked! Oh, my light! Oh, what the f? Where do I go? Oh, no. Dude! Chill! Yo, chill, man! Oh, bro, I'm just filming a video! Hey, calm down! Oh, shit, he's fast. Oh. I need this corner.
Mo dodged, and eventually managed to escape, pressing himself into a dark corner to hide and wait. But the man still hadn't stopped searching.
Shit, there he is. Shit. Come on, man. He's pissed. He's pissed. Guys, I can't run anymore. I don't know where he is.
Mo had completely lost track of him, which made the situation even more dangerous. Every hallway and doorway became a possible ambush point. His car was the only escape, but reaching it meant crossing through the same area where the man could still be waiting. He decided to make a run for it anyway.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Whoa! What the f? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Where are my keys? I'm out of here.
After one final close encounter, Mo reached his car and drove away. When the footage was uploaded online, viewers began noticing details Mo hadn't fully understood during the encounter. Many identified the man as speaking Spanish, apparently saying the building was his home, and demanding to know why Mo was there. Some viewers translated what they believed were direct threats, including one involving the machete and Mo's legs. Based on the man's behavior and aggression, many people suspected he may have been under the influence of something at the time. It's difficult to know exactly what the man's intentions were, or whether everything in the footage happened exactly the way it appeared. Abandoned locations can attract all kinds of people, and not everyone wants visitors. Do you think Mo was truly in danger, or could there be another explanation for what happened? The creator behind the YouTube channel, The Canham's Outdoors, is an outdoor enthusiast who often goes camping alone. Most of his trips happen without any problems, but every now and then something unexpected crosses his path in the wilderness, and that's exactly what took place during this particular trip uploaded on May 18th, 2025.
Saying that, I just saw someone. Oh no, it's all them rams. I thought it was Labrador. Them rams have come back over there. Just where that sun is. Must be their little spot for the night. Right, I think it's better time to put that hammock up, I think. Stuff it. If someone sees me, they see me, don't they? I'll just move on then.
He found a suitable place to set up camp and got settled in. The first part of the evening was peaceful and quiet, but once darkness arrived, the atmosphere began to change. Something about the area no longer felt calm, and instead started to feel unsettling.
I can hear something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a badger or something snooping about. Really strange. I don't know what it is. I'm not liking the feel of this place. Really spooky. Alright guys, I've just finished all that bread. Wow, it's delicious. Just made myself a nice hot chocolate. Keep hearing things. When I walked in here, I could hear a woman sort of talking in the bushes. And I sort of looked round and couldn't see no one. It's really weird. And I just heard a big commotion right over there, probably 20 metres away. Don't know what it was. Just don't feel right.
He began hearing noises he couldn't recognize. He searched the area but couldn't locate where they were coming from. At one point, he thought he heard a woman's voice somewhere in the nearby bushes. He went to check. Nobody was there. Not long afterward, a loud disturbance erupted somewhere close to his campsite. He couldn't explain what caused it. The feeling that something or someone was nearby refused to disappear. It only continued growing stronger. He tried to ignore the feeling, but couldn't. Eventually, the sense that something was wrong became impossible to overlook. He packed his equipment and left the area. Sounds in the darkness, a voice with no visible source. A sudden disturbance, none of it was ever explained. Sometimes the instinct to leave a place is the only warning a person gets. What do you think was out there that night? On October 9th, 2024, a clip uploaded by the channel citysock.ru appeared online and quickly drew attention. The footage shows one of the most unsettling situations that can happen to someone spending time outdoors, a fear most people hope they never experience in real life.
Иди сюда! Медведь! Пуля, там ты видишь что? Что ты идешь за мной? Пуля! Вперед! Вон там! Вон, вперед! Иди отрабатывай! Лук! Взять! Куда ты побежал, придурок? Дима, не ругайся! Эй! 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 Да не, Димас, что сейчас нормально. Эй! Ну, две собаки это лучше, чем одна. Дима, отходим потихонечку назад. Эй! 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 Иди сюда! Да он молодой совсем. Понятно, что уйдет.
At first, the situation did not appear serious. What showed up in front of them seemed like a random disturbance caused by a wild animal moving through the area. Nothing about the opening moments suggested the situation would escalate, but that changed quickly.
Это плохо, это плохо, это плохо, это плохо. Сейчас. Эй! Батя услышал, что ли? Да, батя услышал.
Once they realized what they were dealing with, instinct took over. Instead of freezing, they began shouting and raising their arms to force the animal back. They had their dogs with them. The dogs started barking. The combination of loud voices and the dogs made it more difficult for the bear to move any closer. After several tense minutes, the bear turned around and moved away. The men were able to leave the area without being injured. Having the dogs nearby may have been the detail that changed how the encounter ended. Would you have stayed calm enough to react the same way if you had been standing there? The video comes from Straight Explorer, a UK-based solo channel focused on paranormal camping and wilderness investigations. The channel documents overnight stays in allegedly haunted forests and isolated locations. This footage was recorded on April 24th, 2026 inside Cannock Chase Forest. The investigation begins in silence. He drives at night along rough, narrow roads where visibility is limited and every turn feels uncertain. Nothing unusual happens yet, but with every mile he moves farther away from any sign of civilization, and that growing isolation quietly establishes the tone for everything that follows.
Oh, so I just heard something knocking on that tree. Hello?
He launches a drone to scan the forest from above. He isn't simply searching for a place to sleep. What he wants is distance-dense trees, muddy trails, and open areas with no indication of other people. From that point on, every decision he makes is about staying hidden, not staying comfortable.
I need to remember the way out without going back down there. I'm going to find somewhere suitable for us to pitch up. Yeah, I'll bring you back once I find somewhere. Some buzzards up there. Doubt you'll be able to see them. I've finally found somewhere semi-suitable. What the hell was that?
He sets up camp beside a large fallen tree. As night settles over the forest, the silence grows heavier, and the woods become more difficult to read.
There's a light there. Or was it just shining through the trees from the distance? I don't know. And now I feel a little bit weird all of a sudden. I'm going to try and get an EVP here, and then, as you know from my last few videos, I've been getting good. What is that? I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I keep seeing a light. I'm pretty sure it's in the distance. Oh, shiver.
His sense of alertness slowly increases. He begins feeling like something is watching him. Goosebumps remain as he sits near the campsite. From deep within the trees, faint sounds appear and disappear, too quiet to identify, but constant enough to keep him uneasy.
What the f? I got chills. Oh my god, I have got chills.
His recorder appears to capture something. Through the audio, it sounds like a voice responding back. He reacts immediately. What unsettles him isn't evidence, it's how much it feels like a direct reply rather than random sound.
I really don't feel alone. Let me just put some more.
Then everything changes. He hears a whisper directly beside him. His reaction is instant. In that moment, the investigation no longer matters, only the fear does. Some places don't need to show you anything to make you feel like something is there. If you were alone in that forest and heard your name whispered beside you, what would you do? This footage comes from Fell Wanderer, a UK-based bushcraft and wild camping channel. The channel covers remote forest camping shelter building and practical overnight survival in isolated woodland settings. This footage was recorded on November 15th, 2023, inside Hardwood Forest in the United Kingdom.
Hi guys, back out again, me and Christopher. And we're doing a little bit of exploring, finding a different way into the camp. Every way in is just difficult. And we've come back to do an overnighter. Everything is as we left it.
The trip starts off calm. They return to a woodland camp they've used before, a place that feels more like a base than a new location. Everything should feel familiar. But early on, a few small things seem slightly off, nothing serious. Just enough to suggest the camp might not be exactly how they left it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out the fire pit, make it a bit more square, get down to the rocks if I can, get rid of all the roots.
They quickly settle into repairing the camp. The fire pit is reshaped, stones are placed back, and the cooking setup is made more stable. They reinforce parts of the nearby shelter. Everything feels calm and under control. Then something on the ground catches their attention. A strange mark, nothing they can clearly explain. They look at it for a moment, think it over, then continue on.
Yeah. I think it might be a lot bigger, unless it's a baby Bigfoot. This is an area where we usually come in, or we sometimes come in. So it's quite possible that it could be a boot, like just one of us has stood there at some point. This is a very dangerous part of the forest.
Not long after the weather changes, rain hits quickly and a thunderstorm moves through the forest. Everything shifts. They stop working on the camp and focus on staying dry. A familiar place can still surprise you when conditions change quickly enough. What would you have thought about that mark on the ground if you had found it at your campsite? On March 26, 2019, an outdoor channel called Stuck in the Rut uploaded a nerve-wracking video to YouTube. The footage shows a hunter named Ryan Altis tracking elk along an isolated mountain trail. Out of nowhere, he notices a bull moose during mating season walking directly toward him. Encounters like this are not completely uncommon in regions where elk and moose share the same habitat. However, that fact alone did not prepare Ryan for the intense situation that unfolded next.
Well, as most elk hunters know, moose are very territorial, and any form of elk calling can cause an aggressive moose to come in.
The enormous animal moves dangerously close to Ryan, stopping briefly to sniff his equipment. The tension is extremely high, and it feels like things could turn deadly at any moment. While female moose protecting calves are usually considered the most aggressive, a bull during the rut can be just as unpredictable and dangerous. One sudden movement could have triggered an immediate attack. Fortunately, instead of running, Ryan stays completely still and captures an unbelievable and rare encounter. After several extremely tense minutes, the massive animal eventually loses interest and walks away. If that fearless bull had decided to become aggressive, it's difficult to imagine how disastrous the outcome could have been. The video is from Hoodoo, a US channel that uses satellite maps to locate and explore hidden deserts and abandoned mines. On February 16th, 2025, the creator drives out into the Utah desert near the old mining area of Eureka. He has a clear objective to find a specific location he previously saw online but has never visited in person. He leaves the safe paved roads and drives into rough wilderness, passing piles of rock-steep dirt hills and leftover debris from old industrial sites. He quickly realizes how massive the area actually is.
All right, so we found something else here. First thing I saw was this big silo-looking thing up there. But yeah, we got this as well. I wouldn't have expected there to be active mines up here. I was looking over here, and I see two headstones. They almost look like they're made out of styrofoam. And it's a retaining wall for some dirt. And it also looks like there could be another mine right up there. That almost looks like another mine tailing.
The land stretches far beyond his original destination, filled with confusing trails, steep cliffs, and no obvious boundaries to guide him. That makes the situation much more dangerous, because if he gets lost, finding a route back out would become extremely difficult. Before long, he becomes completely stuck.
Looking on Google Earth, and it almost looks like the road to get down this way is super steep, so that could get dangerous fast. So I might flip this around right here and head back and then see if we can cut across the other way, see if we can find another road in. Okay, so I drove all the way down and I found this road, which looks like on my maps that it might lead up to the spot that we're trying to get to, which is somewhere up there. I don't think that we're able to go up that road at all, so I'm going to flip it around. That looks like it's not going to work out. I'm going to go over to a different area where I know I can camp, and there's some really good camping out there. It's kind of a little bit of a bust that we're not able to stay at that campsite or check out that spot that I was originally planning on going to, especially if I was on my motorcycle.
The road ahead is blocked by deep snow and rough terrain. He attempts several alternate routes, but none of them lead anywhere, leaving him with no choice except to turn back. Eventually, he gives up and starts heading out.
But it's like this little circle of rocks, obviously, and it has some rocks that lead into the middle of it. And let's go check it out. It seems like the map leads over to that mountain over there. I'm assuming it's at the top. Doesn't look as steep on the phone, but... So it's looking like it might be a mine tailing, but it doesn't make any sense because there's like a big circle of rock spot around it. Yeah, that down there just looks like a mound of dirt.
So this road keeps going up. This is all I'm seeing right now. So I can't figure out what it is. It looks like maybe a mine shaft. Oh, I actually didn't realize that this is where this was, but this is what's known as the Nutty Putty Caves. This young kid ended up passing away down in...
A little later, the true history of the area becomes clear. The location is connected to the famous Nutty Putty Cave. He's not in immediate danger, but he's walking directly above a place tied to a real and tragic death. The entire trip is filled with uncertainty, and the massive, confusing landscape makes everything feel far riskier. The biggest moment of the video is not reaching the destination, but finally realizing exactly where he is standing. Wandering completely off the map is always a gamble, because the land itself can hold hidden histories capable of trapping you before you even realize it. If you accidentally found yourself in a place known for a past tragedy, would you keep exploring out of curiosity, or would you turn your truck around and leave immediately? Our next terrifying video features Pitched Up, a British wild camping channel, following friends documenting live overnight stays in isolated locations. Their content focuses on natural conditions, group dynamics, and how the wilderness shapes the experience. It is October 21st, 2024 at Crow Earth in the United Kingdom.
It was a last minute idea. Second camera Rob's destroyed the fire.
I'm pretty sure I can see a flame, bro.
Hmm?
So I'm pretty sure I can see a flame.
They arrive late as the sun is setting, leaving almost no daylight and no time to waste. Setting up camp becomes a frantic rush. They quickly pitch their tents, drop their bags, and scramble to start a fire.
That was very close. What are you doing?
Stood up too quick. Jabbed up the arse by your chair, bro. Oh, that really hurt.
A steady wind is already blowing, not a storm, but loud enough to drown out other sounds, making the campsite feel uneasy almost immediately. Suddenly, a strange noise cuts through the silence right beside their camp. Unsure what caused it, everyone stops talking and stares into the dark forest. They never locate the source, but simply being interrupted by something unseen in the darkness.
Go sort the fire out. Eh?
I'll sort you out in a minute, sir. Right. What we got down on here then?
Don't step backwards, Smash. My cup's down there.
Oh, I think I've done my bit, mate.
So we've had a couple of hot dogs. So we've had, innit?
Yeah, and some sweet.
Eh?
And some sweeties.
And some sweets. Cup of tea with some brandy in it. A couple of brandies with no tea in it.
Is enough to unsettle them. Later, another quick and unusual sound near the fire causes everyone to jump again. Once more, they see nothing. But because it happens a second time, it no longer feels like a random coincidence. Then the wind intensifies, roaring through the trees.
We're going to try and get some footage of the moon because there's meant to be a big super moon tonight for the last night. And we've got a tripod, so we're going to try and get that on if Rob's still with us. It's up there through the trees, but we're going to go into the field.
The constant background noise makes it impossible to separate real footsteps from the sound of the wind, creating growing paranoia. Nothing actually confronts them but the non-stop tension, the rushed setup, the repeated noises, and the loud wind keeps everyone on edge. They never discover what was out there, but the slow buildup of unease completely changes the night. When you're already stressed and the woods become loud around you, the darkness can easily hide whatever is moving nearby. If you were out there hearing repeated noises you couldn't identify, would you try to sleep in your tent or pack up and leave immediately? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.